If you could have a match with someone that isn't a wrestler, it can be a celebrity, it can be an athlete, it can be a character from a show or a movie, who would it be?
Oh, about a wrestler? Oh, I've never thought about that. A non-wrestler. Um, I don't know what the actor's called, but you know, like Royal Rumble, like the guy that's like the king. You know what I'm talking about? Like
Oh, Ready to Rumble. Oh yeah.
Ready Rumble, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it'd be cool to do like something like that, you know? Wrestle
Okay.
one of
Well.
them.
Okay. Cool. Oh, Jimmy the King, right? You mean?
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
that's awesome. That's a first too, because it's like we always thought like, oh, maybe we'll talk about like wrestling movies. No one ever mentions Ready to Rumble, which is crazy. You know. Um. But how would that if? How would you see that match going?
Match going. Well, I'm the Queen of Hearts, and you know he's the king, so I think it'd be kind of like a cool, like you know, twist off of the characters. So I don't know really. Nothing like in particular that comes to my mind, but I think it'd just be kind of like a funny, cool like matchup.
Oh, okay. Would you do the triple cage?
No, oh my
Yes.
god. I'm hesitant to with one cage, let alone three of them.
Awesome. Yeah, that movie's so good too. Like every scene, I know it's like a hit and miss. Like people do like it, then people don't like it, but I think it's up
Yeah,
there with Disney movies.
yeah, it's really good. Like I would never guess that the wrestling wasn't like they didn't know what they were doing.
Oh yeah, and especially like the beginning too when they had the match like in the convenience store, which I thought was awesome too.
Yeah.
Which I think is a good scene. But yeah, that's awesome though. I love Rich Rumble. But again, was it like when you first got the news that you were gonna like now do your first match? What was it like the whole experience coming out for the current for the first time? Like, what was that whole experience like for you?
When so my very first show was September of 2021. I honestly did not think I was gonna wrestle. Like I was so shocked when he's like, "Oh, you know, like, do you want to wrestle?" I'm like, "Me? Me? You want me to wrestle? Are you sure? Are you sure about this?" So I was kind of shocked because my coach pretty much going up into like until like October or not October, the month before September. I can't remember what. Is it October? No, I'm like blanking on right now. The month before September, he was like, "Oh, you probably won't be in this show. You know, like you know, you probably won't." So when he told me I was gonna be in the show, I was like,
Yeah.
"What changed? What changed?" Honestly, like I was just like, yeah, let's do it. What's you know, what's the worst thing that happens? It can't be that bad." Um, we had a lot of people at first show, like 400 people. Like
Oh wow. Wow, that's good.
it was not a small show. It was not a small show. So like I was so nervous, like nervous beyond anything, because I was like, I've never done anything like this. I had to like go out there and you know everything every eyes were on me. I've only done a few matches where every eye is on me, you know. I've done four or
Mhm.
five before this, like competing wise. Everything else was on a mat where like there was other competitors as well
Yeah.
on the mat, you know, like there was three or four matches going on, so not everything was on me. Um it was definitely I got really really nervous. Like I ended up throwing up. Like I was so like
Oh.
yeah, I was so nervous. I was so nervous. It was kind of warm too. It was warm.
Mm.
It was like there was a bunch of people in the back. It got like all like musty and like smelled like dude. It was just like Sky. It smelled like dude. And then someone threw cologne, and that's what set it all off. Like I smelled the cologne, the musty,
Oh
hot. I
yeah.
like ran out and I was throwing up outside a couple times. I was like, oh, I felt so much better afterwards, but I was like so nervous. People were making fun of me. They're like, don't do a pitch perfect. Don't do a pitch perfect. Like throwing up in the middle of the ring. I was like, but after that, after my first show, I never threw up again. I would get the
Okay.
nerves, but I think it was just that one of like being able to know that I can do this because I was so
Hmm.
afraid of just completely bombing, honestly. And
Hmm.
my coach was kind of afraid of me bombing as well. So it did help the situation. He was very uncertain of putting me in there, which did
Hmm.
help because I was like, I'm uncertain, you're uncertain. Why am I in here? But it was a good match. It was a good match. Nothing bad happened. I was, overthinking a lot because
Hmm.
I was like, oh, I always overthink. I'm always like,
Hmm.
oh, okay, go over, go over, go over. You go over what's gonna happen. But it was a good match. Only gotten better since then. I look back and I'm like, oh, that was me. Like I look so much better now. I can do stuff a lot
Hmm.
quicker and faster, and I have more moves in my arsenal now.
Hmm. And going to that match where he like this and wants to, get into business and be a pro wrestler, what advice would you give to someone that wants to be a wrestler?
Be a wrestler. Don't wait. Do it.
Hmm.
You only have so much time. That older you get, the harder it is to get into it. I would dedicate time. Being consistent is super important. If you only wrestle once every other week or, once a month, once every 6 months, and you're expecting to go out there and compete and do matches, it's going to be really hard. You have to be dedicated and spend a lot of time, which I don't think a lot of people really understand when they're
Hmm.
like, oh, how fans want to be WWE wrestler. It's like, yeah, TV wrestling, you know that, but it's completely different doing it inside the ring.
Hmm.
Always do something, never do anything you're not comfortable with. Learning new moves, if you're not quite comfortable, the chances are you're going to get hurt, but, know where your baby steps. Let's say you don't do the full move, but, you get on the ropes and you do something else. Like you just
Hmm.
jump down, you get on the ropes, you jump down instead of twisting and doing a crossbody or whatever. Just being baby your steps up there, push yourself to get better and do more moves, but at the same time, don't do anything you're gonna hurt yourself.
Yeah.
Hurt yourself doing. I think that would be my like number one thing is know your body, do what you're comfortable with. Um, work yourself way up there. And never do a show for free.
Yeah.
Never do a
That's
show
good.
for free.
Yeah.
Even if it's a food or $10 or $20, never always do something for it because it is your
Yeah.
time, it is your body. If you do it for free, they're gonna expect it the next time.
Yeah.
Exactly. So like
Taking
it's
advantage.
like
Yeah.
yeah. So I that's what I would say to new people like wrestling. Never do anything for free.
Yeah.
Um, and do whatever you feel comfortable with.
Nice. Nice. Great advice. I like it. I like it.